Namaste to all, and a hearty welcome to this second edition of the Utsahin Awakening Hearts. As we all know, we are all related to each other. No, we're not speaking of biological relations here. We're speaking about the relationship of love and the language of silence. And right from our hearts, in true spirit, are we all one. So come, join us today as we celebrate the spirit of being one. And as we begin our program today, let me take a moment to heartily welcome every one of you Utsahins, your extended family members, and especially our very special guests of the day. We have with us Sri Srinivas Ji, who is a great musician and an instrumentalist. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Namaste, and thank you for kindly coming into our Utsahin platform. I would also like to specially thank our another special guest of the day, Rimple Ji, who's kindly taken her time to join us. Namaste, ma'am. Welcome to the Utsahin platform. And every one of you Utsahins, let us together connect our hearts and see what the program has in store for today. With those few words of welcoming every one of you, let me kindly pass on to Raghu Ji for the prayer.
Sangachatvam samvadatvam sambho manasi janatam Sangachatvam samvadatvam sambho manasi janatam Deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate Deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate samano mantra samiti samani samanam manah sahachitamesha samaniva akudihi samana Hridayaniva samanamastu Om Yathavah susahasati.
Namaste to all the Utsahins. Today we have with us Sri Popuri Srinivasa Sarma garu, a renowned Veena and vocal artist. He learned music from his father. Sri Sharma garu, founder of Sri Saraswati Sangeeta Vidyalayam, Hyderabad in the year 1956. Srinivasa Sarma garu has taken music as his career choice and have helped several Veena and vocal artists realize their potential, in which few are full-time artists now. He has, to his credit, several awards and has been appreciated by music lovers throughout Andhra Pradesh. He has performed many concerts in Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, Siddheshwari Peetham, at Kurtalam, and numerous concerts in Sri Tyagaraja Gaana Sabha and many venues in and around Hyderabad. He is a recipient of most prestigious title Pancha, Veena Gaana Ratna, and Swaranidhi given by music organizations. He is now the principal of the music at Sri Saraswati Sangeeta Vidyalayam at New Nallakunta, Hyderabad. Sir, stage is yours.
Wow, what a pleasant number. And I truly think that the spirit within us feels united already. This is the month of the Mahashivratri, one of the great celebrations that definitely brings together all souls to experience that oneness on the night of the Shivaratri. And this is a moment where we will, in our spirit, of understanding the wisdom, go through a few messages and stories from our own Utsahin performers. May I call upon Anjali ji to start with her number. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all. Today I am going to share a poem along with all of you. Now, प्रेम हृदय को हर पल हर क्षण केवल है प्रभु ही दिखता, सभी प्राणी में सभी जीवों में उसको केवल स्वयं दिखता, चाहे जगत में हो प्रलय पर उसको केवल ईश्वर मिलता, अंत में अंजलि वो ही कहती प्रेम हृदय से जो है सीखा, जैसी बुद्धि वैसी गति है, जो मन भीतर वो ही बाहर. It means the heart which is filled with love. Every moment it looks only God. In every living being, in all the creatures, it looks only itself. Whether in the world at the time of the Holocaust, it meets only with the God. At the end, Anjali would say, whatever she learned from the heart which filled with the love, as like the intelligence, as the speed of human. Whatever is inside the mind, that's look outside. Thank you. Over to Anirban, sir.
Next, may I call upon Charan? Over to you, Charan.
Namaste, everyone. I'm here again to tell a story of 5 wise men who got lost in the forest. The first one said, here is a discussion between them. So the first one said, I'll go to the left. My intuition tells me that. The second one said, I'll go to the right because the right comes from the word rightness. The third one said, I'll go back. We came from there. It means I'll go out from the forest. See, the fourth one said again, I'll go straight. We should move forward. The forest will end and something new will open. The fifth said, we are all wrong. There's a better solution. Wait for me. So he immediately found the tallest tree and climbed into it. He was climbing, everyone else scattered to their own sides. From above, he saw where they should go to leave the forest faster. Now he could even see in what order the other men will reach the end of the forest. He climbed higher and saw the shortest way. He understood the problem and found the best solution. He knew that he did everything right and felt others were wrong and they were stubborn and didn't listen to him. He felt he was a real wise man, but he was wrong. Everyone was right. The one who went to the left found himself in the thickest forest. He had to starve and fight with wild animals, but he learned how to survive in the forest. He became a part of the forest and could teach others the same. The one who went to the right met thieves. They took everything from him and made him steal with him. But after some time, he had woken up something in those thieves that they have forgotten. That is, humanity and compassion. The remorse was so strong in some of them, even they became the wise man. The one who went back made a pathway through the forest, which soon became a road for those who wanted to walk in the forest. The one who went straight became a pioneer. He visited the places where no one else was and opened wonderful new opportunities for the people. The one who climbed into the tree became a specialist of finding short ways. People turned to him when they wanted to find the fastest way to deal with the problems. This is how the 5 wise men reached their destiny. One learning from this story is whichever path you travel in your life, create an impression of positivity, be an example, create a path that everyone follows, imbibe humanity and compassion in people, and be a wise man. Thank you.
Raghuji, you're not
Yeah,
audible.
namaste all Utsahins. I'm here to narrate a small story which has, created a lot of impact into the relationships. The school started now, and a primary teacher conducted an essay competition for her pupils. All right, and she asked them to write what we wish to do, get from the God after during your prayers. I repeat, what do you wish to have from the God during your prayers? All the children have written the story, essays, and at the end of the day, the teacher collected all the essays given by her pupils, and she takes them home, sits and marks them. While marking the essays, the teacher sees a strange essay written by one of her pupils. That essay made her very emotional. Her husband comes and sits beside her and saw her crying. Husband asked the wife, "What happened, dear?" She answered, "Read this. It is one of my pupils' essay. It said, 'Oh God, make me a WhatsApp. I want to live like the mobile phone in my house.' In my house, mobile phone is very valuable. All of my family members use it, and they are very much interested in it. When they talk, they listen to it happily and calmly. They don't shout at the mobile phone. So I wanted to become a mobile phone. Mobile phone is the center of attraction nowadays. God, I want to receive the same special care that it receives from my family members. Even when it is not working, we are very attentive and we give a lot of value to it. Even when my relatives come home, they immediately start using it and spend hours laughing a lot, at times smiling at it. I wish my parents should laugh and smile with me too. Many a times I feel that mobile phone is, if I become a mobile phone, I'm sure they will spend their time with me. Lord, I never ask you anything. I just want to live like a mobile phone. So please make a mobile phone. The husband completed the reading this particular essay, and I'm sure we also became very emotional here. He said, "My God, poor kid, he feels loneliness. He did not receive enough love and care from his parents, I guess. His parents are very horrible." The eyes of the primary teacher filled with tears. She looked at the husband and said, "This is the essay written by our son." Let us reflect on this. And thank you so much, Anirban, for giving this opportunity. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Raghuji, for that wonderful, meaningful story. Next segment, we have a very special little Utsahin today with us. She has joined us for the first time. She's a school student from the 5th grade. Piali's daughter, Saptorupa Sarkar, would now render a story. Over to you, Saptorupa.
Unmute, please, Piali.
Unmute yourself, Piali. Can you please unmute Saptorupa?
Hi. Namaskar. I want to read a story which is called "What Taste Do You Leave in Others' Mouths?" There was an old man who was admitted to a hospital. A young man was visiting him every day and sat with him for more than 1 hour. He helps him eat his food and to take his shower. Then he takes him walking in the garden of the hospital. After that, he brings him back to his room and helps him to lie down. He goes away after reassuring himself that the old man is doing well. One day, the nurse entered his room to give him medicine and inspect his condition and say to him, "May the Lord be always gracious to your kind and caring son. Every day he visits you and shows great care." The old man looked at her and closed his eyes and said to her, "I wish it was one of my children. This is an orphan from the neighborhood where we live. I met him one day crying in the past crying at the door of a temple after his father died. I comforted him and brought him his candy. I neither saw him nor talked to him for a very long time. When he grew up and came to discover where my wife and I were living, he was visiting us every day to inspect our condition. When I later fell sick, he took my old wife to his home. He then comes to the hospital to see my treatment every day. One day I asked him, "My son, why do you have to deal with us and care about us?" He simply smiled and then said, "The taste of the candy is still in my mouth." Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Sattorupa. Now, let us all reflect on these beautiful messages through the stories and the poems that we just heard. We will keep silence for a minute, reflecting on the beautiful messages and experiencing oneness.
Now, I would like to welcome Sri Popuri Srinivasa Sarma Garu again for the rendition of instrumental. Sir, the stage is yours. Thank you, Sharma Garu. Listening to you and your music is a bliss. I think one thing I can say is it's like a musical enlightenment. And now let me invite the speakers of the day, Utsahin Nidhi Anand Garu, who pursued her MBA and LLB with 19 years of corporate experience. She is a research scholar pursuing her PhD in management. She has volunteered for Ramakrishna Mutt in implementing value education in schools and works with colleges for overall personality development. Along with Nidhi, we also have Ms. Rimple Kankhaji. Professionally, she has 20 plus years of experience in human resource management. Currently, working as career transition coach, she has been volunteering for Isha Foundation since 2016. Isha Foundation is a non-profit spiritual organization founded in 1992 near Coimbatore, India by Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudevji, as we all know. And Nidhi ji, over to you for the next proceedings.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to this part of the program today. I was wondering how to start the session today and share my views, but I will share it from one of the notes that I received from one of our own Utsahins this morning, where he was relating this universe as a deep, dense forest full of mysteries, and we human beings have cut out a plot in it and created a world for ourselves. And while doing that, the society, the family, the schools and colleges, the knowledge that we have gained sometimes helps, but sometimes become barriers on our own journey. Each one of us has a path. To seek outside is science, and then comes innovations and discoveries. But when you start seeking inside, then it is spirituality. So once you're on that path, then like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Jato mat tato path. As many faiths, so many beliefs. So if there were so many billions of population, there is a possibility that each one of us have our own path to the ultimate. So in this regard, but one thing to say is that the gurus or the enlightened beings have continued to have that mercy and compassion on mankind, and they keep descending onto this earth to show us that path. Otherwise, we will be like that without a GPS. You know, gurus, they say, are with like a GPS in a wandering land. And one such guru is Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, who is trying his best to make that drop of spirituality an experiential part of every being on this earth. In this context, I welcome our own volunteer Rimpalaka from Hyderabad Center to take this session forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Nidhi Ji, and namaskaram to everyone out there. Good evening to all. My name is Rimple, and as Sai Charan Ji said that professionally I am a HR consultant and a career transition coach. I'm also a volunteer specially designed by Sadhguru, and that will help us bring well-being to us and also feel that oneness with everyone. So the practice which we are going to see today is called Nada Yoga. Okay, and Sadhguru will now tell us about this universal sound. What is this universal sound and how all the other sounds are amalgamation from this sound? He will then guide us through a very, very simple but powerful practice, and we can feel the oneness with the universal sound. So let us hear Sadhguru, and he will guide us through the practice. I will request Sai Charan Ji to kindly play the video, please.
take your own time. Take your own time. Slowly, very slowly, open your eyes. Joy is not a rare happening. It is not an achievement or an attainment. It should be the natural ambience of your life. When you remain joyful, your whole life is a celebration.
So that was Nada Yoga, and I would like to share my experience of doing this practice. For me, doing this practice has made me so complete within myself, and I feel one with everyone. Well, we know that Mahashivratri is around the corner. It's on the 11th of March, and for any spiritual seeker, Mahashivratri is very, very important. Sadhguru says Mahashivratri is the night of Shiva. It's a night of awakening, and it's night of many possibilities. In Isha, Mahashivratri is the most awaited and important event which is celebrated. I have been part of many Mahashivratris with Sadhguru, both online and in person. And it has been a life-changing experience for me. I would like to show a glimpse of how Mahashivratri is celebrated at Isha, and Sadhguru will invite you for the Mahashivratri. Sai Charan ji, if we can please play the video. Thank you.
Welcome to Mahashivratri, the great night of Shiva. On this sacred night, if you maintain wakefulness and some sense of awareness, it shall bring tremendous well-being to your life. Mahashivratri, receive Rudraksh Diksha, a specially energized Rudraksh bead. It is also delivered free to your home.
Is the most magnificent night of my life.
This is not just a night of wakefulness. This must become a night of awakening for every one of you.
Join the celebrations live on March 11th on Sadhguru's YouTube and Facebook channels.
So that's Mahashivratri with us. So we are all inviting you for celebrating Mahashivratri with Sadhguru, online or in person. And with that, I come to the end of my session. I would personally like to thank Anirban Ji, Sai Charan Ji, Nidhi Ji for inviting us here today and giving us this opportunity. So thank you so much, everyone. And over to you, Nidhi, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The vibration, I think, is going to keep us not just night long awake, but from now seeing how it's going to turn into. So Shiva Tattva, Adi Yogi, form without form, compassion, arrogance, call it whatever, whichever aspect of it. But my only request is that let's not tag it to a sect or a religion and confine the possibilities that are open for each one of us. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. Each one of us is Shiva. And to make that journey happen and for that experience to happen for each one of us, every guru, as I said, has given us immense possibilities, tools and techniques. So the connecting to the thought of oneness, I'm trying to say that it's the body, the emotion, the energy and the mind, they all have to be one. Then if I have to experience with each one of you, the Samadarshita or the same-sightedness, that each one of us in their path and respect the divine in each one of us is needed. Take whichever path that is suitable or a mix of them. Karma Yoga, the action of selfless service. Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. Raja Yoga, the path of meditation. Jnana Yoga, the path of intellect. Be it any path. But I wish and pray that each one of us experience that divine in this life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nidhi Ji and Rimple Ji, for those wonderful, heart-touching messages. And as we come to a closure of our second event, let me quickly summarize and reflect on what were some of the beautiful things that we learned in our message today. As we know, we are celebrating this week of oneness as a theme of understanding the subtle wisdom behind Mahashivratri. And as Nidhi Ji just mentioned, Shivratri is not a celebration of any one sect. It is about celebrating the perfection of being, the philosophical meaning of who Shiva represents. It is for every one of us to understand and unite with the Supreme in whichever ways, in whichever forms or names we may call him, her, or it. However you see your supremeness, that supremeness is within you, is within me, and it is within us. I would really take this moment now to reflect on the beautiful messages that we received throughout, right from Raghuji, who started off with the beautiful prayer of oneness, of how we march together as one in Sangachatva, or our special guest, Sri Popuri Srinivasa Sarma Ji, who played the Veena for us in multiple segments. And as we all know, Veenas are of very many types. There is the Saraswati Veena, there is the Rudra Veena, there's the Sitar, the Sarod, and many other types, of which the Saraswati Veena was played today. And by the way, the Rudra Veena happens to be the favorite musical instrument of Rudra, or Lord Shiva. We also had a beautiful team of our Utsahins today render a poem. Anjali ji rendered a beautiful poem in Hindi, while Charan spoke to us about how every one of us are right in our own paths, in our own ways, and we should not be judgmental. Oftentimes, we catch up on our own selves in getting quick to judge people to conclusions. Raghuji again shared a beautiful story in which he spoke about how someone wants to become in their prayers a mobile simply because that has become a desired state of being, whereas every one of us need to reflect on that story to realize how there are better states of being than get related to devices and find pleasure in devices. Connecting from a person to a person, heart to heart, was a subtle message that was hidden. We had Saptorupa telling us a beautiful story about how each of us can leave a certain taste in others' mouth, and how we need to be careful of how we come across to other people. We then had our very special message of the day by Nidhi Ji and by her partner from Isha, Rimple Ji. Nidhi Ji spoke to us about the various paths that all lead to the one goal, which is the perfection of the self. And one way to do that was beautifully represented by the video from Sadhguru, where Pranavanada, or the sound of ah, oo, and was practiced to experience joy from within. Truly, as I practiced the Nada Yoga, I experienced a feeling of lightness, a feeling of oneness. With this, I would like to again pray to every one of you to continue these practices, experience that oneness, and spread that good message of universal love, of universal oneness. The Shiva Tattva is a possibility. It is a universal possibility for every one of us to attain the perfection of being that the name of the Lord Shiva represents. You take the name, you call it by any other name, as long as the spirit remains. We all celebrate Mahashivratri in our own right. May our lives help us attain that perfection. With that closing message, I would now call upon Yesh to render the closing prayer. And I would take a special moment here to thank our guests once again. Thank you, Sri Popuri Srinivasa Sarma Ji, for coming in and playing the instrument Veena for us. And I also thank Rimple Ji, along with Nidhi Ji, for volunteering to give us the beautiful message of being one and experiencing oneness through Nada Yoga. Over to you, Yesh, for the closing prayer.
Thank you, Anirban Ji. Now I request everyone to join me in the closing prayers. I would request you all to be in Sthira Sukha Asana. Now, if you are wondering what is Sthira Sukha Asana, it is any posture that you need to be steady and comfortable. I would like you all to join your hands and close your eyes. I would be reading out the prayer, and I would be passing after a while so that you can repeat it from your hearts silently and powerfully. May we march forward with a common goal. May we be open-minded and work together in harmony. May our prayers be one. May we belong to one brotherhood. May our aspirations be harmonious. May our minds be in unison. May we strive to reduce disparity. May we be bound in strong fellowship and unity. Sangachatvam. Thank you so much, and over to Raghuram sir.
Sangachatvam. Closure music.